We always talk about the values, right? But the values are belong to a type. So the value can belong to a type of integer. It can be float. Float is basically real numbers, the numbers that have decimal points. It can be string, but a string is it's like text, and strings are the things that we see between quotation marks. And it can be a bool, but a bool is that it can contain two values. It can either true or false. And now in this video we'll be focused on the type of string, and let's do that in code. So that's the string, like it's between quotation marks. And let's write some expressions using the string. Let's try to divide a string by another string. Let's see if that's valid or not. We will see that it's an unsupported operand, so you cannot divide a string by another string. Let's try to divide a string with an integer. Why not? It's again unsupported, so you cannot divide a string. That's the point. So let's try subtract a string from another string. It's again not valid. Let's try if we can subtract an integer from a string. Let's check if it's valid or not. It's again invalid, so you cannot divide strings. You cannot subtract strings. Let's try with plus and multiplication operators. So let's try to add s with a. We will see sa, so s is concatenated with a, so that's a valid operation. In strings, you can concatenate a string with another string, but you cannot add a string with an integer or a floating number. So it should be the same type. It said that it must be a string, not an integer. Let's try the multiplication. Here's this one called concatenation. And let's try to multiply a string by an integer. This will give us 3 s's, so s repeats itself for this many times, and we will see s, s, s in the output. So this repetition and is valid. You can multiply a string with an integer. It means that repeat this string that many times. Let's try to multiply a string with another string. Let's check if it's valid or not. It's again invalid. You cannot multiply a string with another string, but you can multiply a string with an integer. It's a repetition. You can concatenate two strings. You cannot subtract and you cannot divide. So that's the limits that we can do with strings. So the type of string is really important. So make sure that you understand the things and try by yourself. So see you in the next video.